Hey everyone, it's Kira here, and right now I was gonna talk about some of the treatments I've had with social anxiety and other mental problems I've had in the past, and just what's worked and not worked. Mostly not worked, obviously. But yeah, I should start off by saying that both my parents are school social workers, so they work with kids that have problems, and so they always wanted us, like me and my sisters, to get help for anything we needed help for, like get therapy or meds or whatever. And so yeah, that I guess that I mean it I guess that was helpful. So yeah, but when I was 14, starting high school, they decided to put me in therapy, and I really didn't know why at first, and I guess I was just trying to avoid school more and more than I had before, and so they put me in therapy, and I had to go on some meds, and I don't even know what it was, but they kind of made me do that. They're like, they're doing this, and I really didn't have a choice, so I just went to therapy and took the meds, and throughout high school, I kind of just did that until my last year, when I got the worst with I guess they would call in their students school phobia or school avoidance. Yeah, and I didn't drop out, but for more than half the year I was on homebound, which meant a teacher came to my house twice a week for like 2 hours at a time, and that's how I finished my last year of high school. And so I graduated, but I don't know, like, if I wasn't able to do homebound, I wouldn't have, I don't think. And so yeah, I had been doing therapy and meds all that time too. And then after I was out of high school, I don't know, I kind of wasn't doing anything because there wasn't much I could do. I just was too afraid to do a lot of stuff. And when I was 18, I had there was a sort of really bad night I had with like depression, OCD, and I had like sort of episode where I went like kind of hysterical, and my parents took me to a mental hospital or whatever you want to call it, and I was 18, and so I was an adult, but I still just went. I was kind of very confused. Like, I didn't know what was going on, but I just went anyway. And I was there for a week, and it was one of the most horrible experiences of my life. Like, there's nothing in particular that was so bad about it, but just, it was just so depressing to be there. And I was put on all these new medications to help with anxiety and depression and my OCD and whatnot. And I think that was partly changing all that stuff made it especially hard to be there. And it was just, it was really bad for me. And I think there's been a few times since then where I might have had to go back to a hospital, but I've always tried to, like, at the last minute at least, like, be like, no, I'm okay, because I definitely don't want to go back to a hospital. I think that made me worse coming out of it than anything. So, anyway, I kept seeing therapists, and I had been changing all these meds and stuff, and I still wasn't really sure what I was taking. I was just kind of doing whatever my parents wanted, because they're like, well, if you don't take these, you're gonna have to go to a hospital all the time, or I don't know what. Like, since I live with them, that's what they were saying. I was like, well, I'll just take these meds and go to therapy, which was hard, but only because of social anxiety, really. It was hard to get out of the house. So I changed things a lot with the medications, and I had no idea, like, what I was on and stuff, and I just really didn't even pay attention, because I just took whatever they gave me, I guess. And I think I started it when I was at the hospital, this one med that it was for depression, and I think it was actually working, and, like, I don't think my mood was as low as, like, it had been all the time, but I started having, like, side effects. Like, I was having muscle twitches in my face and stuff, and it made me really hungry, and therefore it made me gain a lot of weight, which was really horrible, and I almost didn't notice it while I was on this medicine. I mean, I knew I was gaining weight. I had to get new clothes and all this stuff, and but I guess it improved my mood enough to be, like, just enough to brush it off, kind of, almost. And but when I was starting to get the twitching and stuff so bad, I had to go off that. And I think I was on that for, like, 2 years, and I gained, like, I don't know, 90 pounds in 2 years, and, like, after being off it, I started losing weight, of course, and just because I wasn't eating so much, and there was a period of time after I first went off that med, that I was just like so happy, like almost scarily happy, because it was just the change, I guess, like made my mood like kind of shoot up. And then almost like 6 weeks or whatever it was to the day after I stopped that medicine, my mood went so bad. Like I plummeted down into the worst depression I was ever in. And but at that point I was still really heavy, and I was just, I didn't feel good about myself in any way. And there was at least a month that I was just like, did not want to leave the house at all, or even get out of bed really. And, you know, I really don't want to say the name of the medicine because I'm sure for some people it would help, and I don't want you to like be like, no, I'm not taking that. If you would even listen to this, I don't know. But for me, it obviously was not great. But so eventually I was losing weight, and I got out of that really deep depression. And in like, I don't know, in less than a year, I lost all the weight that I had gained from that. And so in 3 years, basically, or maybe more like 4, I had gained and lost 90 pounds, which obviously that is not healthy at all. And I don't think even if it made me like completely almost like normal mood-wise, that's not healthy if it did that to my body. I mean, so yeah, now I'm actually really concerned about changing meds and stuff. I am taking 3 things right now, and I'm just very scared to change any dosages or anything, because once I had such a bad side effect like the weight gain, and then I lost it, I'm the last thing I would ever want to do is to gain that weight back, because I realize how good it feels to be like at my normal again. So that was like really bad. And of course, being overweight just made social anxiety even worse. Like, I was not in my body, it felt like. So, yeah, but now at least I'm back to where I was in, like, my normal, sort of, and I feel so much better about that, at least. It's terrifying to think about what I was. So I guess this is more like and side effects I'm talking about here, but yeah, I don't know what else there is I was gonna say, but I will put some pictures of me going through the different ways So, yeah, bye.